Anyway, I wanted to watch a couple of people's takes on the game. Dunkey, Starfield. I actually kind of want to watch that. I'm curious. It's gonna be goofy as I'm gonna enjoy it.
I'm gonna let gamers review Starfield, and I'll just be the referee. Introducing our first expert level gamer, a man who needs no introduction, the legendary YouTuber, heel versus babyface.
Taking my headphones off.
Oh shit, he's taking off the headphones.
So f***ing boring!
Now, I'm thinking that this guy does not like Starfield. But why?
In pronouns!
Oh, okay, I get it. In the character creation screen, it asks you what pronoun you want for your character. It's like 3 seconds of a game, which is like 700 hours long.
Gender ambiguity!
Heel, how do you feel about my idea about letting gamers review Starfield?
Cough!
But the gamers...
We can't see past our own f***ing reflection!
I just don't think Starfield is a good fit for this guy. He should really check out The Last of Us 2. Alright, let's play Starfield now.
We also have an all-new animation system.
The character's facial expressions and lip syncing, which are done procedurally by a program, are incredibly accurate.
My expectation for Starfield was that it would have like a cyberpunk level of glitches, but so far the glitches I've got is like enemy doing this. So this is the power of the boost pack.
Captain Solo, Protocol Indigo.
That's just
And
so annoying.
one of my challenges doesn't work. I just can never complete this challenge because it's bugged. Starfield doesn't look like Fallout 3. It doesn't sound like Fallout 3, but it plays like Fallout 3.
Starfield is our first new universe in over 25 years, but it's still a Bethesda RPG through and through, where you step into a new world and you get that feeling
Of feeling like Spider-Man.
They weren't lying. I mean, that what Todd said right there, that wasn't a lie. That wasn't a lie. That was truth.
Boy, do I feel justified with my
Oh,
purchase.
boy.
Okay, so here we got a big-time Star fan, an older gentleman that has somehow never played a Bethesda game. I don't know where this dude was at during Xbox 360 times. I truly do not understand the negativity towards the game. The hardest...
This Dunkey video is out of all of his videos, this Dunkey video is not great. This is not what I was expecting. I was expecting, like, you know, when he does like a Zelda video or something, or just like any game. I was expecting something like that. I was expecting something funny, but all good. We'll keep watching it. This is definitely a weak video for sure.
It's part of a game developer's job.
Let
is
him
its
cook though. Let him
community.
cook. The video's not over. The video's not over. Let him cook.
And some of these players are either delusional or just entitled. Dude, gamers take a lot for granted, and they're way more vocal about criticizing good games than celebrating them. On the other hand, what in Starfield planet do you come from? Microsoft is a $2.4 trillion corporation. The marketing behind this game was so insane that it got you to buy an Xbox Series X to play it. This game should be held to the absolute highest standard, especially by people who bought the Series X day one. Mad because you can't manually fly from one planet to another? Seriously? I can't wait to fast travel to where I'm going to see what's going on over there. Alright, that's it. Red flag. You're going in the penalty box. Starfield players agree that its first dozen hours are its weakest. Okay, 12 hours in, and I love it. Ah, yes, the classic 12 hours to get to the fun part type game. I feel like most good games aren't even 12 hours long. Not every game has to start with a bang, right? But 12 hours?
No one is born good or evil.
And there you have it, people. I am dropping the gamer score to a 6 out of 10 without mods. And always remember, you did this, not me.
In Starfield, we're pushing our cities and settlements further than we ever have before. It's all there, waiting for you. A slice of humanity's future.
So, ready to get out there?
No, no, no!
There isn't really a great solution or win for us. I see commentary that if you just build great games, everything would turn around. It's just not true. We lost.
I gotta believe. X to the E to the R to the O. And pick up your hero. Here we go.
We lost. Okay, that was definitely one of his weaker videos. That wasn't that good. It seemed like he rushed it. He probably rushed this video because like Starfield was like the hype, and it was like in, you know, to hate on it or in on to love it, or it doesn't matter, just to talk about it. So definitely, this is probably the worst Dunkey video I've seen. Granted, I haven't seen that many, but yeah, I don't know. I expected more, I guess. I expected more out of this video. I thought it was gonna be a fun video. It was like kind of fun. You know, it was like Starfield. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. That's a troll. I like Starfield, so I can't say that. Watch Charlie's video. Oh, does he actually have one? Moist Critical Starfield.
Tonight I bring you a gift more valuable than gold. Another opinion on Starfield. I know there's already a million of them out there, but this one's unique. This one's not like the other reviews. This one's quirky and zany with a real nice personality and a big pair of honkers. It's
What the is this behind him? Is this an art like one of the what is this?
On Starfield so far. So it is going to be a review, but it's also kind of an admission of my weakness, because I'm just gonna take the egg on my face here and say I don't think I'm finishing the game. Now, everyone says that the game gets good after 12 hours. I am just shy of that 12-hour mark, and I gotta be honest with you, sports fans, I can't envision a world where I hit that 12-hour mark and a switch flips on, and all of a sudden it's exhilarating. It blows my hair back, and
I think people are misunderstanding the game gets good after 12 hours. The main story gets good after that long. That's it. The rest of the game's great. The main story, on the other hand, is useless. It's useless. The first 12 hours of it, you might as well delete it. It makes no sense. But you could still play the rest of the game. I think that people are just misunderstanding what that... They're taking that one line, and they're fully misinterpreting the line. Like, you should not... 12... I don't know why people are going off that information, because if you're playing a game for 12 hours and it's bad, it's a bad fucking game. Like, if you don't like it after 12 hours, if you don't like it after 2 hours, you don't like it after 3 hours, it's a bad game for you. It's not for you. At all. It's just a game you do not like. Me, personally, in my first 2 to 6 hours of gameplay, I enjoyed the game, but I hated the main story. That was my take. My take was like, this game is good, but the main story is awful.
I struggle to stay awake playing it. It's like the cure for insomnia for me. I would rather be listening to my college professor lecture me on the Krebs cycle through Vimeo videos as homework. It would keep me more stimulated than playing through the main quest line in Starfield. I went into this expecting, on this outrageous amount of hopium, that this would truly be an ambitious Bethesda title that would finally evolve their formula and push it forward. But unfortunately, that's not what it is. This is the standard Bethesda experience that many of you probably know and love, but set in space. No more, no less. And you'll see that sentiment echoed across pretty much every single player out there. That's like the only universally agreed upon thing.
That is 100%, like we talked about that yesterday, that's 100% accurate. Everybody expected this to take Bethesda games to the next level. And they just kind of... It was a step up, but it wasn't the next generation of their games. It was just more Bethesda games. That's all.
When it comes to this game, this is a very divisive game. I loved the Bethesda formula a decade ago, and this feels like it's stuck in the past. This feels like it's still playing with fidget spinners right now. It just, with all of the hype and all of the claims that they were making about this game pre-release, I would have expected so much more than just being complacent with the exact same Bethesda experience that you're used to with a different coat of paint. The writing in the main quest line is lazier than my summer book reports in high school.
Yes. I don't know about his summer books, but yes.
Like, it is kind of laughable at points. They really phone that in. It is some formulaic silliness. I don't want to get too deep on it, but that was the only thing that I think is, like, actually weak. Everything else is fine and good in certain cases. But somehow the game still manages to keep a neutral expression on my face. It doesn't make me smile. It doesn't make me giggle, spit up, and kick my feet in my chair or anything. Like, I don't get excited by the game because I feel like I've already played this so many times with Bethesda. There's almost no facial animations for any of the NPCs, so it takes all of the emotional investment and immersion right out of it. Because you'll be getting great voice acting from all of these characters, but then you're looking at the character, you're having this goddamn staring contest where they're just staring a hole through your soul, and there's nothing on their face. Even when it's like an emotional beat, there's nothing. So it makes everything so fucking stiff. It's like all you can do is communicate with mannequins like it's I Am Legend. Like, if you're lucky, the extent of the expressions you'll experience in the Starfield main quest line is this. And you are beyond fortunate if you even get that much. I don't know if that's like a bug or what, but that is a very common expression that you're going to get in your playthrough, no doubt. So this game really is pretty light on Bethesda jankiness, which is great. That's really surprising, because especially given the scope of the game, I would have thought this would be by far their glitchiest one. But no, they put WD-40 on those squeaky wheels, and they lubricated it. They massaged it. There is not a whole lot of bugs here. So big W on that. And speaking of W's, there is...
So far, what he said has been very accurate. Honestly, this first 7 minutes that he's been saying, pretty accurate. The only thing in this first 7 minutes, the only thing that was weird is he took the 12 hours like clickbait and he like took that to heart. The game doesn't change in 12 hours. What you experience in the first 6 hours is the game. What you experience in the first 3 hours is the game. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you find out more stories and you find out more planets and you find out how to ship build and you find out how to build outposts and you find out like the nuances, but like that's not going to push you over to sell the game to you, right? Like the first 6 hours, if you don't enjoy the game, the first 3 hours, if you don't enjoy the game, you are not going to enjoy the game, and that's it.
And there was a prominent figure that got outed for some bad shit, and once they completed the side quest, nothing changed. That character is still in the exact same position, so that whole side quest, even though you completed it, didn't really have an effect, which takes all of the wind out of the sails and makes the journey feel kind of worthless if nothing actually changes in the game. I don't know if that was a bug, or maybe they weren't done, but it seemed like they were, and they seemed to think that they were. So I don't know if that's commonplace or if that was like some kind of rare exception. But
yeah, I've done a lot of side stuff, and so far, not much of it has done anything to the game, if any of it. There's stuff along the main story that changes the game. There's stuff along the main sub-faction quests that change the game. But there's nothing in terms of sides that changes the game.
You can explore for thousands of hours. There's 1,000 planets to explore, and they're all amazing. You're going to lose yourself in here. You're going to jack into the Starfield world, and you never want to go back to cringe old Earth. The real world is, can't even compete with what Starfield's got. And man, that couldn't be more wrong. That is so far from the truth, it makes me want to spit. I tried to do the exploring. I really did. Just rocks, flat ground, and a couple of space animals. And by couple, I mean one space animal type per planet from everything I've seen. And they just kind of stack them occasionally in clusters, so that way it feels like it's somewhat alive. And that's it. There's a couple of places you can visit outside there, such as like a cave that has a little bit more to it, or like a very small little mining colony on that planet in particular where there's like 5 people and a robot. And that's it. Sitting in an empty open world with nothing to do.
So this is a common misconception. This is an example of him not doing enough exploration, which is fine, but there actually is quite a decent bit of wildlife, but there isn't, like, you're not going to go to a planet and see 25 different types of species. You're not going to see that. You're going to see at most 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe. If you're lucky, you'll see 5. So there definitely isn't just one. One on some planets, but on most planets, it's about 3 with a max of 5. I've never seen more than 5. I've never, ever seen more than 5 different types of species.
There's not as much freedom in this game as I was led to believe there would be, especially with the exploration. There really isn't anything overly ambitious about this game. Procedurally generated, soulless, empty worlds to explore.
So definitely nothing too ambitious, but their procedurally generated world is very good. They did a very good job at that. It almost feels like it's not procedural. I will commend them on that. Whoever worked with that tool to try to make it work and mesh well with their POIs, they did a very good job at that. I will 100% give them that. They did a very, very, very good job at that. God, you guys are just taking things so literally. I'm not talking about the colors of rocks. I'm talking about how the world meshes in with the POIs that are being placed there. It is fantastic. You very rarely experience clipping and issues through. Like, they did a good job meshing POIs and the world that is procedural together. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying Planet A is different from Planet B. Yes, they have the same formula because guess what? They're procedural. I'm saying the mesh of it all together was very, very well done. Maybe they should have procedurally generated the main story. Probably. Yeah, they probably should have chat GPT that shit real quick. Probably would have been a better main story for sure. I'm not defending Starfield, nor am I attacking it. I'm just giving you my opinion on what I think is good and what I think is bad. For example, the main story. The first half of the main story and all of the temples that give you all 24 powers or 32 powers or however many you have, absolute dog shit. Like, what? They weren't even trying. They literally didn't even try. Right? That part they fucked up royally, which is weird because it's the most important part of the game. I don't understand. So it seems like they spent a lot of time elsewhere. But yeah, there's some good and some bad. I mean, overall, the game is good. Overall, Starfield is a great game. But they definitely have a lot of flaws. But they also have a lot of things that they did very, very well.
So if you go somewhere in the game, you land on a planet, land in a city, wherever, if you try and bring up a map, there isn't one. And I don't get why. It's super easy to get lost because of that. When it was
This is a weird topic that people are back and forth on. I genuinely don't know. Like, on one hand, it's cool to have to like learn and figure out the world and know where the shops are and whatever. But on the other hand, just let me see where I'm going. Like, I don't know where I land or where I lie on the map topic. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. There's times where I would love it, and then there's times where like it's kind of cool and feels immersive that there isn't a map. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I don't know which way to lean there. I'm kind of like in the middle where I don't know. Just add a map, man. Just add one.
so easily rectifiable. Just put a map. Like, it's 2023 and now we took away the map? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if there was vehicles or a faster way of traversing them, I guess it could be a little more interesting because then at least it wouldn't be a massive time investment of...
I can agree with that. Like, the fact that they have this crazy starship building system and you could slap on all these different parts, like, why couldn't you slap on a little bay that holds a little rover for you to then, when you land on a planet, the rover comes out and you jump into it? Because, like, a lot of these POIs are, like, very far away. So what I do when I land on a planet and I want to explore it is I land on the planet and I just stim. I just pop stims and I'm running super fast. But, like, that's kind of a stupid way to get around. Like, I don't know.
So I do think Bethesda has polished off their shooting in particular here, so the combat does feel a bit more fluid, thanks to making it a less janky game than, you know, what we're used to from Bethesda. But that being said, it's still...
I kind of want to do melee combat because I know it's so bad. I don't even have to do it to know it's bad. I've played the game enough to see how many melee weapons they give you, and it's a total of like 5. That's it. They give you like 5 melee weapons, and they expect you to go have fun in a melee build. Ridiculous.
The combat here is literally just Fallout combat, but without VATS.
Yeah, it's Fallout with superpowers. That's it. You throw some grenades, you throw some mines, you have an explosive fucking RPG, you have a grenade launcher, you have a machine gun, and then you do magic. That is the best part, and that's what carries this game, in my opinion, is it actually feels good to play and shoot things and blow things up, hit some headies, you know, cast some Fusrodas and shit. Like, that's the best part of the gameplay loop, I think.
There's a lot of people out there that don't want any kind of, like, big changes to the combat in Bethesda games or new.
I'm curious, what could they even do to change the combat? Where they would need to innovate is just boss mobs. Fighting like the bosses, they haven't quite figured that out. They haven't quite figured out how to do bosses very well.
Because I'm just tired of playing the exact same Bethesda game without anything really changing about it. Even
the UI is bad. The UI is bad. That's true. He should have brought up how bad the UI is.
bugs that were present 10 years ago are still present in Starfield. Of course, they're not game-breaking, like they're very minor things, and for a lot of people, the bugs add charm, but come on.
He doesn't want to say it's mid, it's hard, because that's not true. It's better than mid, but it's not amazing. It's not a 10 out of 10. It's not even a 9 out of 10. It's barely an 8 if you're a nobody. If you're a Bethesda fan, it definitely is an 8 for sure, probably a 9. But if you don't care, you're a nobody in the space, you don't know what Bethesda is, then yeah, it's like a 7 at most, maybe 7.5.
They just want to keep delivering the same Bethesda experience. And again,
I don't think that. I think they really want to innovate and they really want to do more. But I'll be honest, I think they probably pumped this game out pretty fast. To the point where I think they were spreading themselves. If I had to guess, I don't know, this is just a guess, but if I had to guess, they were spreading themselves thin and they needed to make a very difficult decision. And that decision was, do we give this game more years of time, or do we go with our Bethesda formula that works? Obviously, we've made it better, we've made it smoother, and do we just run with that? Probably just run with that, because we're not gonna sit in this unknown 2, 3, 4 extra years of dev time, and then by the time the game comes out, GG, you know, we lost our position here. Someone said search Quinn 69 Starfield. This?
Collect the artifacts.
Find more artifacts.
The way to another artifact. Constellation needs that artifact.
Find an artifact.
Get an artifact, bro.
Collect the artifacts.
God, that's it. They're reacting. Look at how it's coming together. What can I do for you?
I hope Core doesn't get too much underfoot.
Oh no. Sam, no.
Yeah, so, I don't know about you, but
What would you done without me, dude? Let's go with this thing.
I would have given them an exhaustive series of lectures on aneutronic fusion.
Yeah, just show the bad things. I mean, this is an example of this is content farming, and that's fine. It's awesome. It's hilarious. We've all seen these bugs before. People falling through the ground, people floating, camera angles snapping on people because your character hasn't gotten there yet, or your companion hasn't gotten there yet. But this is content right here, you know?
I literally just figured everything out. I know everything now. It's a multiverse. Yo, come back! No, Sarah! Sarah! No, she's gone.
Some advice? Don't need to crawl.
You want to go in and like do some crazy shit? You can't. You just get the headshot.
Oh my God, has he ever played a shooter before? This man can't move through a hallway.
I'm trying to go down it, dude! Jump in there! Jump in there! Jump in there! You stupid!
Yeah.
Jump in the giant cat! Big fucking cat! Oh my God, bro! How can I not get down there? What the fuck is this bullshit? What the fuck is this game, bro? I'm gonna be honest, chat. I'm trying.
This room was fucking so f***ed. It's good to know that this room didn't just happen to me. This room is f***ed, I guess, for everybody. This shit, they did not like do the collision or something. Like the collision's f***ed in here. I swear something's f***ed in this room.
To be positive here, I'm trying to remain positive. But right now, this is looking like, it's not looking like Starfield. It's looking like midfield, dog.
The content farm,
bro,
I love it.
Like,
I love it.
Guys How many units out of the total units we fought were not bugged? There was more bugged units glitching through walls, floating, teleporting, than there was actual units that function normally. That whole like combat part.
The rage in this room was very real. Yeah, I had my experience in that room wasn't quite as bad, but I think have 2 mobs flying in that room. I don't know what the fuck was going on with that room.
Okay, they're just shooting me. Oh.
He's getting shot in his back. He's literally getting shot in his back, dude.
Oh wow, that was cool, wasn't that? That was badass. Dude. I like the part where they just shot me through the rain and the guy just died.
There was a guy behind him just shooting him in the back. He had no idea what the fuck was going on. I love it.
Hello.
That's normal.
What are you doing?
Bro, why does he do no damage? What the fuck is going on?
Let's reload it.
Dude, that is the worst. Oh my god.
What the f***? I'm reloaded 5 times!
No. Yeah, okay, that one's annoying. Just reloading your gun. Reloading your gun. Oh, it's not reloaded? Oh, reloading your gun.
How did this game get the ratings it got? I do not know. I feel so out of touch. D4 is better than Starfield, and D4 is bad. It should not have been. This should be labeled as a beta test. How do I refund? No way! Wait, it's not in there anymore. Pending 184. Hey, yo, wait, how do I confirm that? Where do I confirm this? I think I got a refund. Your purchase has been refunded. Yes, dude.
Oh shit. Oh man. I think anyone that rated this game 10 out of 10 is a liar. Anything under that, I truly believe they were honest. 10 out of 10 though, I don't give a 10 out of 10 rating to anything. No game is perfect. You're saying that 10 out of 10 is a perfect game. That's not possible. 10 out of 10 should not be the norm of ratings. Should not be. No game's 10 out of 10. None. 0. That video was fun. I love watching him get mad. What did Ko say? Does Ko have a video?
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Ko here with an early thoughts video on Starfield. I've now played this game for about 6.5 hours.
Oh, wow. This is early. This is early. Okay, let's see what his 6-hour take is. I'm curious.
This game is awesome. It is the least buggy Bethesda experience that I have ever experienced. There are still some bugs, but it is a lot more solid than I'm used to from Bethesda. It is essentially a Fallout framework that has been updated in many small ways, but still a Bethesda game at heart. You can still feel it being the Bethesda game. And frankly, it is pretty much meeting and exceeding every expectation that I had so far for it. It's actually been awesome so far, which is very surprising. But yeah, I have to say that
this is a 6-hour take, by the way,
that are watching this, I have entered this game with expectations that I like to say I tempered. You know, I was not expecting a game of the year. I was not expecting an amazing gameplay performance. I was expecting a Bethesda game with a large, big open world and tons of items and mechanics to explore and places to explore and all that kind of stuff. And that is what I'm getting so far. As somebody who really enjoyed Fallout 4 and pretty much all other Bethesda games,
I did not like Fallout 4. Sorry.
What they are, that is what I am getting.
It was okay.
This game, with Bethesda being in its best form so far. So is this a perfect game that's bug-free? No. Is it the most bug-free Bethesda game? Yeah, it seems like it so far with my 6.5 hours. But I can thankfully say that I am very much enjoying No Man's Skyrim. and that I think that Skyfield is
No
gonna be
Man's
great,
Skyrim, that's
and
good.
Fallout in Space is really doing it for me. So, yeah, that's kind
All
of
right,
where
that's a 6-hour take. Okay, I want to know his 100-hour take, because he's got to be close to 100 hours, if not more. I feel like he might even play the game more than maybe he plays a little less. I'm not sure. He plays a lot though, so I want to know his take now that he's put in tons of time, because at this point, what I have done is I've explored tons of different planets. I've done so many different angles of quests. I've seen the consequences, if there are any at all, to quests and decisions. I've used every gun in the game. Watch the New Game Plus one. This one.
Hi, everybody.
Hey there.
Go here with a
Baldur's
quick
Gate shirt.
explanation. Starfield is basically 2 different games in one package. It is a relatively interesting main story, but then tons of
He
side
couldn't
quests,
say it.
lots of big world.
I respect him so much for not saying it's bad. He knows it's not good, but he doesn't want to say it's bad. That is a very good thing. Very, very smart way of approaching that.
After you beat the game for the first time,
He has talked shit about it through his playthrough. Oh, so he slipped. Okay, he slipped. I mean, you play the game enough, yeah, that's fair. He slipped.
if you really do want to power up your character before you experience your big sandbox playthrough, take the main story all the way up to the end, but don't New Game Plus. Because then you can go back and do your big sandbox playthrough with everything you've been collecting and all the money you've made and all that kind of stuff. When you are done with your sandbox playthrough, go back to the New Game Plus part, New Game Plus your game, and
yeah, that's definitely the best way of doing it. The best way of doing it is if you want to beat the main story, sure, but when you're done with the main story, don't necessarily jump through the loop to go do it again, because it's a waste of time. But him saying there's two games in one, that's a little false advertising, I'd say. I don't like how he started the video saying that, because that's not true. There's absolutely not two games in one. Unless you consider different dialogue options sometimes being a second game. I don't know if I'm just misunderstanding the video or what, but two experiences would have been better. Yeah, there is two different experiences. Yeah, fair. Is it super obvious when New Game Plus is available? Yes. Yes, it is very obvious when New Game Plus is available. It will be blaring and it'll be screaming at you saying like, yes, this is it. You will know. Trust me, you will know. I think people get really confused, you know? Just because someone doesn't like a game doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything. It's just like I don't like certain movies or certain TV shows, you know? It's not a personal attack if you don't like the game, if you don't like a show, if you don't like a movie. And same on the other side. It's not a personal attack if you like a game, if you like a movie, if you like a show. Who the f cares?